we can get some updates here on the latest rotation in these couplets. That cell moving west of Magnolia, it looks like a new tornado warning.
Okay, our coverage is continuing now.
KHOU 11 News starts now.
Harvey slams into Texas as a monstrous Category 4 hurricane.
Total devastation. Port O'Connor's pretty much gone. Seadrift has a lot of major damage. Rockport's devastating.
Even those 150 miles away are feeling Harvey's impact.
There was like a bomb exploding.
And the danger isn't over as Harvey moves slowly through Texas, bringing torrential rains and flooding. And the danger tonight definitely not over, happening right now. Look at this video just coming into our newsroom showing possible tornadoes, and that is a wicked-looking thing touching down in northwest Harris County, right along Barker Cypress near West Road. This, folks, another example of just how unpredictable and dangerous Harvey is. Reports on the northwest side of businesses there being damaged. Just one more area that has been affected by Harvey, which has now been downgraded to a tropical storm.
I tell you, it has been some day, and just in the last hour, it has really picked up with this tornado-like activity we've been telling you about. Real quick, I want to share from Twitter, Sheriff Ed Gonzalez tweeting some homes around the Berry Center are damaged. Also, Black Horse Ranch, that's Fry Road at 290, Fry Road, Cypress, North Houston, Tuckerton West, hashtag Hurricane Harvey. We've been following him on Twitter as well as many others. Now, we have crews live everywhere. We're working to get more information for you from Northwest Harris County, but of course we have people all up and down along the South Texas coast, from the hard-hit area of Rockport to Galveston and Fort Bend County, where a possible tornado left a trail of destruction.
Yeah, that's just another tornado section, not even what we just showed you. We're about 24 hours into this storm. David Paul is here with the very latest information. This thing keeps changing, David, keeps presenting different problems in different places.
As you guys were just talking, I realized what we've got is a huge circulation in the hundreds of miles wide circulation around Harvey. In association with that, we're getting these tiny little circulations, which are no longer than 10, 15, 20 yards wide. But those are the little tornadoes, and those are doing damage now, and they have done damage, and we've got reports of fence damage, roof damage, as tornado warnings continue to be in effect for northwest Harris County. So this is the spot in our area that is getting the worst of it right now. A lot of us are getting a break from the rain. That is good. But there it is, northwest Harris County. And so this is 290. There's the 99 connector, the Grand Parkway, where it connects to 249. And right in between 290 and 249, this is where we have the heaviest thunderstorms right now. A couple of things going on here. The pink box is a tornado warning, which is in effect. Well, it wasn't in effect until 5 o'clock. It looks like they've gone ahead and reissued it. And then we've got this flash flood warning because the storms that have been producing the tornadoes are also dumping torrential rain. Let's zoom down closer to the Cypress area. And so this is where we've had damage reports. Barker Cypress, and this is near the Berry Center. There's Cypress, there's the 99 connector. And you see where we've got these green colors, the cool colors coming together with the hot colors, the red colors. That's showing us rotation. And we know we've got confirmed funnel clouds, and we've had a confirmed touchdown because we've got damage on the ground out here. And so this is a dangerous situation. If you're in northwest Harris County, Telge Road and the 99 connector, heading up toward Todd Mission and also moving out of Waller County into Grimes County, the safest place to be to protect you and your family is the first floor of your home or your business, away from windows. Interior room or an interior closet is even better. You want to get as much as the frame of the house around you, tightly close to you, because that will protect you the best from these tornadoes. Now, the good news is at the moment, I have not had any reports of any like houses just destroyed and blowed off their foundation. These type of tornadoes usually produce the damage like fences down. It can push a car over. We had reports of a car flipped over. They can do minor to moderate roof damage. Trampolines are blown around. And so far, that's exactly the type of damage that has been described to us. In fact, we had a firefighter at the Cypress Fire Department out here who saw the tornado go over the Berry Center, and he said that in the neighborhoods just north of the Berry Center, they went in there and saw that they had fences knocked down and they had some minor roof damage. But that was the worst of it, and I've got my fingers crossed that hopefully that will be the worst of it. But again, these tornado watches, the tornado warnings are now in effect, and the whole area will continue under what's called a tornado watch through 2 a.m. early tomorrow morning. That means that through at least 2 a.m. tomorrow morning, the conditions, the ingredients will be in the area that can produce these types of tornadoes with these stronger downpours and storms. All right, guys. Okay, we'll be back in just a couple of minutes with another weather update, but until then, again, Northwest Harris County, first floor of your home, away from windows, interior room or closet or a small bathroom, that's the safest place to be as the tornadoes are coming through there, guys. Back to you.
David, we have seen a lull in some parts, at least in the Houston area, and then all of a sudden things start picking up again. We were showing you the video of a possible twister on the northwest side. It was shot actually by a neighbor of our, Jason Bristol. So let's get to our crew on the ground for a closer look at what's happening there. This is near the Copper Lake subdivision in Cypress.
Now that's on the northwest side, just off Windfern Drive. Adam Bennett just arrived on Early Spring Drive near Harvest Bend. What are you seeing, Adam?
Guys, the good news here is that everybody got out and they are okay, but there are still a couple of kittens that were inside that were unaccounted for. I'm here with Catherine. Catherine, you live here. You told me you've lived here for 10 years. Just kind of walk me through what happened. I know it's been a really tough afternoon, but just if you can just tell me really quickly what happened.
Well, I smelled smoke in the house, and I thought it was the dryer at first. And so I went to check the dryer, turned it off, and then I'd been working on dishes and clothes, and I went and lay down on the couch, and I fell asleep. And my grandson came downstairs, and there was smoke everywhere. And he said, Mimi, this house is on fire somewhere. And I said, let's check upstairs in your room. And he went up there, and the electrical cords had caught on fire across the bed. And then I called 911, and my brother poured some salt on it, but didn't have enough. He opened the window, which he shouldn't have, which caused the oxygen to feed into the upstairs. And called 911. They said, get everybody out. We got everybody out. I put the dogs in the backyard, and we waited for the firemen to come, and then the house caught on fire.
I hate to ask, but how bad is the damage inside right now?
Well, my best friend, the landlord, she thinks it's total.
I'm so sorry. And,
Yep.
and you do have a place to stay, though, tonight, or you're looking for one?
We're not for sure, because I'm the oldest of the family, and everybody else is dead. Okay? And we have a friend in Arizona that has homes, and we're going to call him and see if there's a home that we can go stay in temporarily.
But you're okay. You said your brother and your grandson were inside. They're all okay?
They're all okay.
Of course, that is always the most important thing. I'm so sorry for everything that you lost in there, but I'm glad you all are okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry for my best friend of 40 years losing her home. She's my best friend. This shouldn't happen to best friends.
And I understand we've heard that the Red Cross is on the way, that they're going to try to get some help for you all. That we just talked to the fire official just a second ago, so there should be some aid coming pretty soon. I know you told me you do have insurance.
We have renter's insurance, and she has home insurance. So it'll all be okay, but still, just the point that it's gone right now during this.
Right. And of course, a lot more rain expected. I mean,
Yeah.
This is never a good time for something like this to happen, but
Just bought all the food and stuff, and now no electric, you know.
you had stocked up and prepared for this storm, and
Yeah.
now
Prepared. I guess we'll just take it wherever we go. I just have to smile about it because God saved us, and I owe it all to Him.
you all are okay. And here, we're going to bring you out this way a little bit. I'm amazed by just how positive you're staying right now, given everything that's happened. And again, I'm glad that you and your family are okay. Five cats were rescued too, right?
2 mamas and 5 babies, and we're still looking for 2 babies. They're 3 months old at the end of this month, and if anyone wants one, they can call me. I laugh when it's this way. I hold up under pressure pretty good.
Yeah, I can clearly see that. Again, I'm amazed by how positive you're staying during all of this. I know that, again, you have to, right? I know that the fire department, again, they're bringing some help. They're going to get the Red Cross in here.
Yeah, because my brother and my grandchild lost all their clothes, and we just bought new clothes for school.
Gosh, I'm so sorry. It's like you said, you just have to stay positive. And
He's the one I'm worried about because he's crying. You know, I'm hurting for them. You know, because I know after living all these years, you know, that everything works out, and God's going to provide something better. I just believe in that.
There are a lot of neighbors out here I know that are concerned about you too. Pretty close with a lot of people around the neighborhood.
Pretty close. We all look out for each other. And, I mean, we've all been here for years and years. You know, living here 10 years, going on 11. You know, so I don't know where we'll be now, but that's where we've been.
Well, I've no doubt Red Cross, like I said, is on the way. I know you're talking to some friends to try to get a place to stay tonight. Something good will happen. Just stay positive like you're doing. And
I will. And I thank the fire department so much and the police department. Oh my God, they were all here. I mean, I love my policemen and my firemen. I think everybody should. You know, we all should love each other.
They're doing an amazing job. Your neighbors have been great. Catherine, thank you so much for talking with us. I'm so sorry about what happened to your home. And we're all thinking and praying for your kittens too. I hope they're okay. I hope they're able to find them.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate y'all too.
Thank you so much, Catherine. Best of luck to you. So guys, really, really tough situation here. You heard Catherine talk about this home she's lived in for more than a decade. It looks like everything is a total loss. Before we talked to her a second ago, I did talk to the fire officials here with Cy-Fair Volunteer Fire Department. They were telling me that there's extensive fire damage on the second floor of this home. I mean, you can see it right behind me. It's just devastation in there. Firefighters are going through right now. Also a lot of smoke and water damage on the bottom floor. Now, as far as the cause, Catherine, you heard her talk about it. She believes it was electrical. Fire officials think there may be some kind of weather-related component. They are sending an investigator here to check this out. And again, they tell me that the Red Cross will be on the way to help out Catherine. But just a really, really tough situation here all the way around. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Adam, thank you for that report. You can hear the anguish in Catherine's voice about what has happened to her. We don't know if it's weather-related, but it's happening on a very rough weather day, especially in the last 24 hours with Hurricane Harvey, now a tropical storm. It has caused tornadoes and flooding and all kind of nonsense just up and down the coast and even inland. Here, that's on the northwest side in the Copper Lakes subdivision.
Yeah, and David Paul says we're not anywhere near being finished. We have these tornado watches at least until 2 o'clock in the morning. That was the last time I've checked with him. Something tells me it's probably changed since then. You know, people quickly posting on Twitter images of this system in northwest Harris County. Our Ron Trevino is taking a look at those now. Ron?
Yeah, Mia, you know, we're just worried about the flooding, but the threat of tornadoes is something that's associated with all hurricanes. And you, the viewer, have been sending us some video and some pictures. Is the microphone on? Okay. Let's get to some of these videos that have been posted on our... Is the microphone on? Okay. Let's go to some of the videos now. This came in from Marcus Ogle. 3:50 this afternoon over Barker, Cypress, and Tuckerton. And look at that. It looks like maybe more than one tornado there, not far from a golf course in northwest Harris County.
Has his mic over there.
All right, that came in from Marcus Ogle. Let's go to this one from Luck Z713. A tornado of Barker, Cypress, and West Road.
It's blinking on. I don't know.
There you can see that scary tornado off in the distance. And as David Paul was saying, we've got tornado watches and warnings still in that area. That coming in from Luck Z713. Jason Bristol, our sports anchor, retweeted this from his neighborhood. This is near Barker, Cypress, and West in Cypress, courtesy of Dave Hope. Very scary stuff there in northwest Harris County. Keep it here as Dave is going to give us everything we need to know about this in just a few minutes. But we certainly do appreciate all the pictures and videos that you can send our way on Twitter. Stay safe, though, when you take these videos. Mia, back to you.
All right, we got a whole lot happening out there right now in the Cypress area. This all really developing just in the past 45 minutes. Once again, I want to give you another look. This is from video that we're seeing from Cypress, the Cypress area, rather. This is in northwest Harris County. I believe this is video that a neighbor of our Jason Bristol shot. And matter of fact, Jason Bristol joins us now on the phone. Jason, you there?
I am. Hi, Mia.
Hey. My friend, go ahead, tell me what is happening out there.
Well, right now we're in the Town Lake subdivision of Cypress. I can tell you on Tuckerton and Greenhouse, the power is out. There is a crew right now attending to the power line, trying to restore power. Basically, a neighbor down the street from me, Dave Hope, caught the video that tornado or funnel cloud, the one that was near the Berry Center. And right now, it's coming down, not terribly hard, but it is raining. We are seeing some rain on the roadways, nothing crazy. But basically, the word in the neighborhood, from the neighborhood, is that no major, thankfully, some downfences. I see it down.
Hey, Jason, you're breaking up. You're breaking up. It was good talking to you. At least we know you're safe by talking to you. Wishing the folks out there in the Cypress area the best.
Yeah, it's not going to go smooth or easy in some of this coverage this afternoon because of the locations and cell phones, etc. We do have another crew out in the Cypress area where we've been showing you reports of tornadoes popping up and popping up fast.
Marcelino Benito is at the Lone Oak subdivision. Marcelino, what have you seen?
Well, guys, there's a lot of damage in this neighborhood. I'm just going to give you a look around. We just arrived here on scene. You can see some of those trees down to the right there, trees that were just ripped out of their roots and thrown all over this cul-de-sac here. You can also see as we pan to the left, roofs, chunks of roofs that have since been covered, but they flew off of those houses too. And if we keep coming around, Ralph, all the way to your left, you can see that house right there. That tree completely snapped, a tree now blocking the front door, the entrance to that man's home. You can even see whatever came through here. You can see the garage door bent in somehow by something that must have struck it. Now, I want to walk over here because I have a homeowner who was inside her home as all of this was happening. Her name is Ronnie, right? So, Ronnie, tell me what you heard, what you experienced just a few minutes ago, right?
Yeah, I was in the other room, and I don't really know what I was doing. Then all of a sudden, I'm hearing a lot of noise, and then my window starts like rattling. And then I'm hearing things go over my roof, like I thought maybe debris was just going over my roof. And then when I finally looked out, everything, my patio stuff was all in shambles, my fence, and but it was really noisy and scary.
All right. Thank you so much, Ronnie. Guys, I can tell you there is tons of damage all over this neighborhood. I'd count just on the drive in at least 12 homes, probably a lot more than that. Just to give you an idea, we are south of the Berry Center. I just talked to the PIO, the Public Information Officer with the Harris County Sheriff's Office. He says that tornado went quite a long way through this neighborhood to the Berry Center and up 290 towards Fry Road. They think that was all one tornado. One more note, we are expecting Sheriff Ed Gonzalez to come out here any minute and brief the media on what's happened. So far, we haven't heard of any injuries, but as soon as he gets here, we'll bring you his comments live. Guys, back to you.
Marcelino, thank you. And based on what Marcelino was telling us, we're not done seeing the potential damage from this particular tornado on the northwest side. He was in the Lone Oak subdivision. We were also in the Copper Lake subdivision. It seemed to have stretched a long way. So we'll get reporters fanning out to take a closer look at what's happening just on the northwest side, just in the last 30 minutes.
And real quick, just want to mention, these were tweets from Sheriff Ed Gonzalez, the Harris County Sheriff. He said tornadoes definitely touched down at least 4 times. You mentioned some of the neighborhoods, the Lone Oak subdivision. He also said Barker and West, that's near the Berry Center. We mentioned at the top of the newscast, Black Horse Ranch as well. Fry Road, Cypress, North Houston. We're going to work and get more information from that area for you as well.
This is damage in our area just in the last 15 to 20 minutes. Big damage last night. The coastal community of Rockport took a direct hit from Harvey. The mayor also confirming late this afternoon, sad to say, one person has died there.
Noel Brennan made the difficult drive to Rockport. Here's what he found.
We've just arrived in Rockport, Texas, where the eye of Hurricane Harvey passed over late last night. It was a Category 4 hurricane when it passed through, and this is a look at Rockport Fulton High School. This is what's left of their gymnasium. You can see inside it was just ripped open, blown apart thanks to Hurricane Harvey. The basketball hoop in the distance, that's one of them that's still standing. The other is laying in a pile of debris, broken apart amid chairs, corrugated metal, pieces of wood, even what used to be the back end of this gymnasium. And if you walk with me along the sidewalk here, you can see more metal, tree branches, siding, just pieces of what used to be this gymnasium. Other buildings on campus are also damaged. To my left, there's the auditorium. The front doors look like they're blown open. You can't really tell from our perspective, but the roof is also badly damaged. This is just a look at some of the damage throughout Rockport. We've seen plenty more, and you can't help but think about the staff and the students at this high school and how their school has changed, and no doubt this event will have changed their lives. Reporting in Rockport, I'm Noel Brennan.
All right, thanks, Noel. A lot of mess down there. Very difficult situation. The town of Rockport, north of Corpus Christi, a town of about 10,000 people. They got smacked around really bad.
They sure did. About 60 miles north of Rockport in Victoria, there's a mandatory curfew in place.
And tonight we're getting our first look at the destruction there. Larry Seward is in Victoria live tonight. How are folks doing there, Larry?
Many people stayed in their houses, but those that did evacuate, authorities do not want you to come back. You see that water behind me? That's usually a dry creek bed. It's designed to fill with water during flooding situations, but it is really full tonight, and there is quite a bit of a current there in that water as we speak tonight. Because there's more rain headed here, that is why authorities do not want people out on the roads. Lots of down power lines, which is part of the reason why we're standing in this yard that I'm in now. You see this van here? A power line snapped and sparked a fire. This van melted. The worst part, though, is the duplex behind it. There was a family that lived on the far side to your right. On the left, there was a single woman inside the house. Both of them were inside when this duplex caught fire last night. They were able to escape, according to neighbors, but you can see the destruction. The fire burned for quite some time, but again, everybody here safe. But there are plenty of down tree limbs. There are plenty of down power lines. There is no running water in this city. No power for people here, which is why authorities, again, say they're under this mandatory curfew, and they want people to stay in place until they are able to get things cleaned up a little bit better. On our way in here, I want to show you this. On 59 between Inez and Victoria, we saw an 18-wheeler blown on its side. The driver that was inside that vehicle was not there when we showed up. The Red Cross showed up to try to check on him as well, and the driver was not there, so we don't know his condition. But that vehicle was there in the southbound lanes of 59, blown over by the wind. Not sure of its status at this point, but that is an incredible visual of the kind of winds that they've been getting down in this area of Victoria County, Jackson County, which is where that 18-wheeler was. Again, not exactly sure what this storm is going to do here in the town of Victoria, so emergency authorities, again, driving around, trying to make sure people that live here stay inside their homes, stay inside that shelter. We ourselves are staying as safe as we can. We're going to go check on a few things across the way there. There's a home that lost its roof. We're going to go try to check on that homeowner and make sure everything is okay there. But that is the very latest from here. Again, we're going to continue to gather information. Back to you guys.
All right, everybody trying to stay safe down there. So much more to come tonight as we continue to track this dangerous storm.
We'll continue to assess the damage live and hear more from David Paul about what we can expect tonight. And a lot of you have questions about the storm, especially with this tornado-like activity we're seeing. Well, our Standing for Houston team through Harvey are answering your questions. Call the number there on your screen. It is 713-609. Ron holding it up for you, 9439. Our coverage continues right after this.
At Beaches, everything's included. For everyone.
I never overthink it, do what I want, my generation. That's right, my generation. Yeah, we're all about a good time. Yeah, we're all about a good life. You won't believe it till you see. This is gonna be a fun ride. Yeah, we're all about a good time. Yeah, we're all about a good life. Good energy, come follow me. Oh, it's gonna be a good night.
Beaches All-Inclusive Resorts. Call 1-800-BEACHES.
Right now at VisionWorks, get 2 complete pairs of single vision glasses for $29, or 2 complete pairs of progressives for $69, plus 25% off all lens upgrades. Only at VisionWorks.
It's the Kia Summer SUV Clearance Event from the brand ranked #1 in initial quality by J.D. Power 2 years in a row. Hurry in today for great offers on quality Kia SUVs. Get $2,500 bonus cash on the 2017 Soul. Visit KiaDealers.com today.
Who gives you the best entertainment experience and more? The easiest way to access Netflix. More to stream to any screen. Up to 55 megabits of speed when you bundle, and up to 5 lines of unlimited talk and text included with your internet. Fact for fact, Xfinity delivers. AT&T just doesn't stack up. Get the best in entertainment and fast internet for $25 each a month for 12 months when you buy both, and get HBO or Showtime included to stream on any screen. Plus, ask how to add Xfinity Mobile. Click, call, or visit a store today.
You have to have a lot of passion to grow grass in December in Denver. You have to know how many times a cleat can touch a single blade before it breaks. Even if it doesn't make the headlines, when it's football, you give it everything.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, appreciate everything you do for football, man.
The game wouldn't be as good without you.
Right now at VisionWorks, get 2 complete pairs of single vision glasses for $29, or 2 complete pairs of progressives for $69, plus 25% off all lens upgrades. Only at VisionWorks.
It's the Kia Summer SUV Clearance Event from the brand ranked #1 in initial quality by J.D. Power 2 years in a row. Hurry in today for great offers on quality Kia SUVs. And now get up to $4,000 cash back on a new 2017 Sorento.
Caught on camera, Hurricane Harvey tearing the roof off of a hotel in the town of KHOU. All of the guests were evacuated to a nearby school. And check out this neighbor improvising, using a kid's pool and a paddle to make her way down the street.
You do what you got to do under these kinds of conditions. Strong winds sweeping through the Fort Bend County subdivision of Sienna Plantation overnight. They're ripping off siding and roofs off homes and knocking down fences.
Officials say it may have been a tornado. Our Melissa Correa is live at Ridgepoint High School, where the school was damaged. Melissa?
Yeah, we were just getting confirmation from Fort Bend ISD about damage done to the high school. Had to come out here and take a look, guys. This is our first look at the damage. As we zoom out, you can see it's just tree after tree taken out by the storms. It's rows and rows of this as we make our way towards Ridgepoint High School, which we've learned from the school district has now dealing with some roof damage to the point that construction crews are boarding up the front entrance in case anything else blows through. All day, teamwork has made the dream work. Residents who were spared in the storm are now helping their neighbors. Again, at least 50 homes were hit by strong winds that carry things away like trampolines. Bricks blew off homes, and trees, well, guys, they snapped like toothpicks. Through the storms, though, a reminder to tie everything down, or better yet, just put it inside right now.
I've never been through a tornado, but everything I've heard about it and everything I've seen after it came by, I would put my money on a tornado. It just, the sound of it, the devastation, how quickly it passed through, and just eyewitness reports from other people I've talked to. They said they saw funnel clouds, so I believe them.
We're still waiting for the National Weather Service to call it, though. It could be a tornado like a lot of folks think, or it could have been some strong straight line winds that blew through. The National Weather Service will investigate the path of destruction as well as how all of these trees broke before they tell us what happened out here. Now, we mentioned Fort Bend ISD called that emergency school board meeting this afternoon. They've already said no school on Monday. And from all of these trees, Len and Mia, we just continue to look. Take a look at those 2 neon school zone signs back there. They are bent over. In fact, we want folks to stick with us. We're on the move. We're going to go deeper into Sienna Plantation, bring you an all-new live report in the 6 o'clock hour.
All right,
guys.
Melissa, thank you. I don't think it matters what you call it, straight line winds or tornadoes. The damage is the same.
All the same.
And we're seeing it all over the place. There was rain everywhere. Some places you probably have noticed getting more than others. We're seeing a lot of flooded streets down on Galveston Island.
Jason Miles joins us from the island with more. What's the latest there, Jason?
Honestly, guys, I feel a little guilty hearing about tornadoes in the Houston area, all that devastating damage farther south. It's fairly nice on Galveston right now. You can see the winds are still here. I was getting pummeled with heavy winds and rains this time yesterday. You can see the white caps. Bunch of people out and about on the seawall taking a look at things. Still not safe to get into the water, though. The major issue here on the island, as you mentioned, the street flooding. We took this video earlier today. It's from the downtown Strand area. It's normally packed, of course, on a summertime Saturday afternoon. Deadsville today. Many of the streets have inches of water, not feet though. Thankfully, no major flooding inside businesses or homes. Some intersections and side streets had to be barricaded by city crews. We saw children and adults alike taking their kayaks out, their paddle boards, floating in the flooded streets, making the best of what Harvey left behind.
We're at an island, so we get a lot of water-related weather, but this is not usually what we get.
It ain't been too bad. It could have been worse, but we thank God that this is all we got so far.
Public Works crews out and about working, making sure storm drains are as clear as possible. We saw these guys cleaning up debris along Broadway, the major street coming through the island. City officials reporting widespread power outages earlier today, especially on the west end of the island. I'm also told a vacant building suffered some structural damage, a wall collapsed, but no inhabited homes at this point. Back here live, I can tell you one big concern was the possible storm surge. They were saying 2 to 4 feet along the seawall here, up to possibly 8 feet in the areas that don't have a seawall, like on the west end of the island. But so far, so good. And fortunately, it appears as if, and I hate to use the cliche, that Galveston dodged a bullet. Guys.
I hear you. And once again, we're seeing people out in dangerous conditions, this time fishing. I don't know if that's a good idea, but
just don't do it.
Look,
it's not a good idea. Just don't do it. That's what I'm saying. Wait until everything is settled down.
They're battle tested. Some folks feel comfortable going out there.
I hear you. All right, let's check back in with David Paul. Boy, David, it has been something here just in the last 30 to 45 minutes, especially up on the northwest side. What's going on up there?
And that heavy rain on the northwest side has prompted a flood warning for Upper Little Cypress Creek. Is apparently just about to bank full and just about to come up out of its banks. So that's Upper Little Cypress Creek. Also, if you download our mobile app, we have tornado tips and ways to stay safe during tornadoes, and of course all the information on hurricane preparedness at the mobile app as well. Here's the way it looks from outer space, the satellite. The center of the storm is still slowly moving inland. It looks like it's almost stationary now, sitting right here, a little bit north and west of Victoria, which keeps us on the dirty side, the onshore flow side, which is why we continue with our tornado threat and our flash flooding threat. And here's the way the radar looks right now. Heavy rain band near Beaumont. Most of southeast Texas has actually had a break for the past several hours, but there's a new heavy rain band coming up out of Wharton County, moving into southern Fort Bend County, coming into Brazoria County, and that one may come across the city here over the next few hours, and that will increase our flash flooding threat over the next several hours. Closer view, flash flood watch again, Upper Cypress Creek, and then tornado warning for this cell near Magnolia, which is still showing some signs of rotation on the Doppler radar. That one moving northwest at about 35 to 40 miles an hour. So Todd Mission, Stoneham, the Renaissance Festival grounds. You guys are in the path of that rotating storm that has had a history of producing a small tornado that did some roof damage and some fence damage in the Sienna Plantation area as it moved north and west. Here again is where the center is, and it's now about 120 miles away from the Houston area, which seems like a long way, but you can see how the dirty side of the storm, 120 miles away, is actually getting the heavier rain right now. So how is this going to go this evening? The center continues to spin off to the west of Houston. We will have a threat for heavy rain through the overnight. This is 5 a.m. We could see a heavy rain band, and we could continue to see rain bands come through off and on through the overnight. And then tomorrow into the morning, we could continue to see this heavy rain come in. So tonight, there's going to be a threat for flash flooding, and the flash flood watch is in effect basically until further notice. The forecast track for the storm itself hasn't changed. It sits and spins, heads south, and slowly moves back to the north, and is basically still sitting within 100 miles of where it is right now by Thursday, which keeps us on the dirty side, the wet side for the next several days. Here's your extended 100% rain chance Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 80 to 70% rain chance still Wednesday and Thursday. Guys, back to you at the news desk.
Not letting up anytime soon.
It's turning into a 7-day event, basically, at the rate it's going. Thanks, David.
Do not let your guard down.
Absolutely not. We want to take you to Rockport now, heavily hit by Hurricane Harvey last night. Brett Buffington joins us with more on the devastation where Harvey made landfall.
Well, this afternoon it is absolutely astounding to see what Hurricane Harvey has done to Rockport, Texas here. Buildings are completely gone. Others, their roofs ripped off. The damage here is intense. The storm slamming into the coast here around 10 o'clock last night with 130 mile an hour sustained winds. As the sun came up this morning, it was very clear to see what kind of impact Harvey had here. This is ground zero, if you will, of where this storm hit in Texas, and it is dangerous to be in Rockport this afternoon. There is no power, and communicating here essentially impossible. There's no cell phone service here in Rockport either. On top of all of that, natural gas lines here in the city are leaking. Serious concern for rescue workers here as they go door to door this afternoon, making sure that people who stayed behind and tried to ride this storm out are accounted for. As this storm made landfall here in Rockport last night around 10 o'clock, 10 people had to be taken out of their home to a makeshift jail, a makeshift hospital at the town's jail. Of course, expected for the number of people injured here during this storm last night to rise throughout the day today. In Rockport, Texas, I'm Brett Buffington. Back to you.
Tough times for those folks there in Rockport, that's for sure. They have a long road ahead of them. We'll be thinking about them. Closer to home, flooding. That's a big issue so many communities are dealing with. That includes Northwood Manor, and that's where we find our Jennifer Titus with a live report. Jennifer?
Yeah, so for those who live here in Northwood Manor, they tell me that this water you see on the road, it's actually nothing. It's gone down a lot since earlier today. You can see the water line right there. They say they've been complaining about this water for years. And thankfully today, there may have been a glimpse of hope, though, thanks to some visitors. Here is what I'm talking about, escorted by the Houston Fire Department, council members Amanda Edwards and Jerry Davis, along with Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, toured these flood-prone areas, including Greens Point and here in Northwood Manor. They saw cars stalled out and some water up to people's driveways, and they know the rising water may only get worse. James Armstead, who's lived here for 30 years, says he's complained about the water forever, and hopefully now officials seeing it firsthand may start to help fix the problem.
I would really like to see them improve the drainage. That's to be the main thing, and that way I'll be able to, in case it's raining, I can leave the house sometime instead of just have to sit there till it go down.
And Congresswoman Lee says she was on the phone today with administrators with FEMA, hoping to have funds in place in case Houston needs it. Now, all of the council members and Congresswoman Jackson Lee says even though the rain may have stopped for now in some neighborhoods, still be careful. Don't be out on the roads if you don't have to be. Stay inside, because some of these streets that you see with the water on them, when you drive through, it just causes a current, guys, and pushes that water up into these driveways. So they're hoping that people just stay smart and stay safe. Back to you guys.
Jennifer, thank you. Just ahead, another area in trouble. People in Matagorda County being warned an evacuation order will stay in place indefinitely. We'll hear why and see the damage there. That's coming up next.
Future. 2 whole minutes in the future where you already got financing from drivetime.com.
You even know your down payment.
There's no way I could know all that in 2 minutes.
Are you calling you a liar?
So you guys figured out time travel and you can only go 2 minutes?
Yep.
You warned us you'd be difficult.
I am difficult.
See your financing in 2 minutes and shop over 10,000 vehicles. The Drive Time Machine, only at drivetime.com.
It's time for the biggest sale of the year with the new Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed. It senses and automatically adjusts on both sides. The new 360 Smart Bed is part of our biggest sale of the year, where all beds are on sale. And right now, save 50% on the Labor Day limited edition bed plus free home delivery and Saturday.
Rust-colored water, low water pressure, leaks. These are all warning signs of failing galvanized pipe. I'm Brad Mallory, owner of Clean Team Plumbing. we'd like to thank the thousands of homeowners in Houston that trusted Clean Team Plumbing to repipe their homes. If your home was built before 1988, give us a call today for your free pipe inspection. Ignoring leaking, rotting pipes can cause permanent damage to your home. For cleaner, faster, better service, cleanteamplumbing.com.
Gran, how do you make your sandwiches taste so good?
I make them with love.
Actually, it's the Blue Plate mayonnaise.
What?
Gran's been using rich, creamy Blue Plate for years to perk up the flavor in all your favorite foods.
So the deviled eggs?
Blue Plate.
Potato salad?
Blue Plate.
Cookies?
No. She just buys those. Try new Blue Plate Light Mayo with Greek yogurt, a first of its kind.
Sandals. More quality inclusions than any other resorts on the planet. Call 1-800-SANDALS.
Dangerous storm Harvey playing a little tic-tac-toe has been all over the place. Some of you getting hit, some of you not, but we know there was damage everywhere, including water near KHOU.
Yeah, a restaurant there being impacted. Josh Chapin is in Clear Lake Shores tonight. So Josh, tell us how this one happened.
Mia, well, this is Opus Bistro. It's a pretty popular restaurant here in Clear Lake Shores. You can see just pretty much everywhere around it, this restaurant has taken on water, with the birds really more populated at this point than any customers that we can tell. We spoke to folks in this town of about 1,500. They tell me that this restaurant is a frequent flooding spot. Now, we also spoke to the mayor just a short time ago. This mayor, as I said, it's a town of about 1,500. He tells me so far they've been okay. The streets that have flooded in past storms are flooding, but that's all right. He also told me that the National Weather Service was spot on when they said the storm surge would be about 2 to 4 feet coming in, of course, flooding the KHOU area from Galveston Bay. So that has helped with the storm surge here, has helped in neighboring KHOU. We've yet to actually talk to anyone here in this restaurant. We're trying to see what kind of the damage is like inside. I also spoke to someone in KHOU at the police department, just, we're right next to KHOU, basically. They tell me that so far they've been pretty lucky as well. They've had a little bit of minor damage to the boardwalk over there, but they are holding on hope that this rain stays away. We've had a nice break so far, letting this water recede. We just got to wait to see what happens in the next few days. I'll send it back to you guys, lending me in the studio.
Yeah, more of those breaks. That's what we need for sure. Pace everything, all this rain. Well, parts of Matagorda County took a hard hit. Bay City seeing its share of mangled trees and much more.
Kaya Edwards, she's there. Kaya, how bad is it this afternoon?
Well, the big story here in Bay City, power outages. That's one of the first things we noticed when we got into town. If you go around, you can see a lot of the businesses are closed because they just don't have power. Right now, we are in front of a snow cone shop. It's called Tropical Snow. And if you take a look in the front yard right there, you can see a pretty large tree branch resting on the power line. In the back of this business, there's a lot of debris, and it's a similar situation throughout this town. We want to show you this video from our way into Bay City. This is just off of Highway 457. You can see a large uprooted tree there. We also noticed just across the road, a crew was out working on power lines. Now, before this, we were on our way to Sargent, but we couldn't quite make it there because when we got to Hawkinsville, officers were there blocking the road. Matagorda County officials are not letting anyone pass this point because it is under a mandatory evacuation. And some residents we talked to, they are upset about this. They evacuated yesterday, and they say they just want access to their homes.
Most of us won't leave next time. And, maybe next time, instead of running up to Houston for one day, we'll stay, and it hits hard and somebody gets hurt.
Back here in Bay City, crews are beginning to restore power, but the next big concern could be this: water and where it is all going to go as it continues to rain out here. Reporting live from Bay City, Kaya Edwards, KHOU 11 News.
Damage everywhere. A spokesman for Matagorda County says residents will not be allowed to return home for a while.
And that's mostly because of power outages. Matt Doherty is there. Matt, what's the latest you can tell us?
Well, you just heard Kaya talk about one of those blockades that she ran into. We heard from the sheriff in the last hour. He's telling us that all of them have been set up. They're all going to be manned for 24 hours a day. Nobody is allowed to come into Matagorda County. I'm here now with Mitch Thames, and he's the spokesman for Matagorda County. And Mitch, tell me, why did you guys decide to do this today?
Matt, we've got a lot of situations going on. We've got a river that we're worried about cresting. We've got additional rains coming our way. We've got infrastructure situations going on everywhere. The best thing that our team decided to do was close down the roads. The main job for our EOC is to make sure that we keep the public safe, keeping them off the roads. We're not ready yet for the situation of the public. Our hospitals are closed. Our emergency operations we're not responding with EMS. We've sent those individuals home. We're under a mandatory evacuation.
And not to cut you off, but one of the biggest things that we learned this morning, so many people without power. Power is out in this town, right?
We have transmission problems, as we understand, from the major carriers. So it's not necessarily local, but major transmission problems.
Throughout the county.
Throughout the county, particularly coming from the west. We understand our friends and neighbors have had some devastation. That's affecting us from a power standpoint.
And what's also interesting is I know that you talked to the power company today and asked them how long is this going to take to make this repair. They can't give you a definitive answer, right?
Well, bless their hearts. I mean, they have got a tremendous problem. That is, this storm was wide, and so they've got to get their transmissions first, and then they'll get their distributions, and then we'll come down. Now, I do understand that there's pockets of power coming back on.
Okay, but that's one of the reasons, right, that you can't tell people how long this evacuation is going to last, right?
That's exactly right. Once we hear from the power companies, once we understand what the storm is going to do, then we can open back up the county. We've got to make sure that essential personnel are in place before we can allow 16,000 people back in.
Gotcha.
To make sure the hospital's running, make sure that the grocery stores have diapers and milk and food. More importantly, we do not want our economic situation to go hurt. So we've made arrangements. If employees need to get to our manufacturing plants, those continuous running plants, all they need to do is provide their badge, their credentials, and our roadblocks have told to let them through.
Okay, we'll go ahead and talk about some more of that at 6 o'clock tonight. But Mitch, thank you so much. Lynn and Mia, we're live in Matagorda County. Back to you.
Got it, Matt. Harvey has been downgraded to a tropical storm. Maximum sustained winds now about 65 miles an hour, half of what it was when it came ashore, but still very dangerous. It could dump as much as 1.5 feet of rain in the Houston area in the coming days. Governor Abbott reminding everyone, do not dare Mother Nature by trying to drive through high water.
You all know the well-known phrase, and that is turn around, don't drown. Don't risk your life. Still, the most important thing that all Texans can do who are affected by the storm is to put your life and the protection of your life first and foremost. As you're traveling, if you are traveling out on the road, always watch for water on the road, remembering that when you come across water, it could be far deeper than what your eye observes, or the swiftness of the current can be far stronger than what you perceive.
We are constantly reminding people of that fact. If you can avoid driving on the roads tonight, we encourage you to stay home. And of course, we'll keep you posted when it comes to all the roads and highways that may be underwater.
Well, also pounded by the storm, the town of Palacios, flooding and wind taking its toll there along the bay.
Scott Knoll takes us for a closer look.
Well into the day, angry waves at Tres Palacios Bay continue to pound this city by the sea, which, thanks to Hurricane Harvey, looked more like an island. Parts of the city cut off by flooded streets following last night's landfall.
Very windy. My windows were rattling.
Kristen Wilson ignored the county's mandatory evacuation order and rode out Harvey at home.
Very scary. I've never been in a hurricane. I've been in a tropical storm before, but never a hurricane. And I was, well, scared.
And now she and much of Palacios are without power. Lines ripped down by the high winds that push the bay into neighborhoods and boats into driveways along the waterfront, where Lieutenant Tim Smith estimates nearly a quarter of homes here sustained some kind of damage.
Most of the damage I saw was roof damage, really, and a little bit of porch damage, some carports, that kind of thing, but nothing major. Did not see any major damage.
There were also no injuries or deaths here in Palacios. The concern now, keeping it that way. With so much debris and flooding, police are urging people to stay off the streets, wait for the all clear, and wait until Harvey moves out for good.
I would say probably about 3-4 days. That before the roads, the down power lines are cleared, trees are cleared, and the roads are open and the bridges are safe. I would give it a few days.
And Lieutenant Smith knows just how hard that waiting is. He says he lives about 50 miles west of here, near where the hurricane made landfall. He's been working since yesterday and says at this point, he's not even sure he'll have a home to return to. In Palacios, I'm Scott Knoll, KHOU 11 News.
Scary and frightening stuff, and we know you have a lot of questions about this storm. We have a team here all day long. They're ready to take your phone calls.
Ron Trevino is there at our Stands for Houston help desk where we are taking those phone calls. Ron, what are people calling about?
Oh, just about everything, Mia. They've got questions about their loved ones. They're worried about tornado watches and tornado warnings. They want to know maybe why their neighborhood has not been featured. That's probably a good thing. If we're not in your neighborhood, that's a good thing. But there are some neighborhoods that we are making our way to, and some cities that we haven't talked about yet that we will be talking about. This is a number to call, 713-609-9439. Write it down, 713-609-9439. We don't have all the answers, but if we don't, we're going to try to get the answers for you. We'll write down your number. We'll call you back. We've done that with so many people today. Now, a lot of these volunteers, they are from the station. They work in various departments. And Nicole works with Great Day Houston. Nicole, what kind of calls have you been getting?
I've been getting a lot of calls about, whether or not their school's going to be closed on Monday, whether or not to expect tornadoes in their neighborhoods or flooding in the bayous and creeks near them. So I've just been trying to keep people updated on what they can expect, and everyone just needs to stay tuned to Channel 11 because we are covering all those bases as we get that information in here.
Yeah, and also if we don't have the answers, we try to get them in our newsroom as well.
Yes, exactly. And so we can definitely pass that information on to our news team, and they're covering that important things that everyone needs to know in order to stay safe.
Yeah. Well, obviously our thoughts and prayers are with everybody in the Houston area that's been affected by the storm or will be affected by the storm. We want to do our very best to try to help you out through this, maybe the next 4 or 5 days. As we stand for Houston and we take care of our neighbors. A lot of people have been calling to find out how they can help, and probably the best way to help is to contact the Red Cross. But again, if you need anything, like maybe in terms of trying to reach loved ones in the Corpus Christi, Rockport area, we've tried to do that, but a lot of the phone lines are down in that part of South Texas. But again, we'll take all your questions. We'll try to answer them the best we can. But our volunteers are going to be here all night working in shifts just for you. 713-609-9439. Our help desk will do our very best to try to help you out. Lenamia, back to you.
Yes, they are very resourceful, Ron. I was walking through there yesterday. I watched someone say, let me take your name, your number. I'm going to go find that information and then call you back. So they're there to serve you.
Yeah, don't hesitate to call. We'll try and get some help for you. Now to Brazoria County officials. They're asking people in the Holiday Lakes area to get out if they can.
Reporter Erica Ferrando is there. What's their biggest concern tonight, Erica?
Well, they're concerned about potentially record-breaking floods, and the mayor of Holiday Lakes issued a mandatory evacuation today for this entire community. People have been leaving out all afternoon and into the evening as they're expecting those waters to rise. The Brazos River threatens the entire community of Holiday Lakes with homes boarded up and folks getting out.
I hope that it don't happen again because we just spent a year already.
The city's saying if you experienced flooding last year, you likely will again.
We're taking everything upstairs and fixing to hook up the RV.
The city of West Columbia is under a voluntary evacuation, and Doug McClure is already getting out.
I hate to leave everything, but what can you do? This thing is coming up.
With flood stage at 45 feet, the National Weather Service is showing the Brazos River reaching record-breaking flooding at 55 feet by early next week, exceeding last year's levels. San Bernard River is also posing a record-breaking threat. 4,500 inmates are evacuated out of Ramsey, Terrell, and Stringfellow prison units.
Definitely concerned a little bit. We're going to pack a go bag.
Based on rainfall, county officials say heavy bands could trigger a mandatory evacuation for areas around the river.
It'll break you. It'll break you.
If you can get out now, the city is urging you to do so. Otherwise, they say at least get out before midday tomorrow. Let's toss it back to you in the studio.
And people, are they heeding that based on what you can see, Erica? Are people saying, okay, we're going?
I would say most of the people we have seen are going, and that is because they experienced this last year. One man we spoke with, he had 30 inches of flood last year, and so he's getting him and his entire family out, and that's the same with all of his neighbors.
Exactly why county officials are taking action there, because they watched what happened last year. The Brazos River, you know, it can be so treacherous.
Right.
Once we have these heavy rains, the torrential rain that just inundates that river. And then also, it's also coming from upstream too. So it's so much for them to contend with.
Yeah, they kind of know the routine. More trouble in Fort Bend County. We told you about Sienna Plantation earlier. Some homeowners in the Lost Creek subdivision, they've got a lot of cleaning up to do.
Yeah, this is a little bit up further north from Sienna Plantation at West Park Tollway and 99, where roofs were ripped off some homes. Marcelino Benito got a close look at the damage.
Neighbors in Lost Creek have different stories to tell.
And I can hear the roar all the way down the street. I live about 12 houses down the way.
I jumped out of bed and I'm yelling, "Get in the bathroom, get in the bathroom." Kids are running out of the room, they're freaking out.
My whole house started shaking and I just said, "Oh Lord, my house." So at that time, it just boom, 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 boom. Everything just went to pieces.
But after last night's possible tornado, they're all dealing with the same cleanup, trying to erase what they saw Mother Nature whip up from their minds.
And my chairs and the neighbor chairs, everywhere, everything on the air. And we just so scared.
With almost surgical precision, the possible tornado ripped off roofs from multiple homes. It uprooted fences and tossed around whatever was in the backyard and scattered it down the street.
All the doors and windows started moving and opening, and it was just a big bang came.
Debris flying through the air turned into dangerous projectiles that broke windows and even tore through walls into homes. This hole here made by a fence post. Minutes earlier, kids were watching TV on that couch.
It's very scary, but it's surreal, you know. You thank God. So we're okay though, we'll be good.
Take a look inside this home. 80% of its roof collapsed. The worst damage in this neighborhood. And what's worse, the family who lives here didn't have homeowners insurance. Lost Creek neighbors now helping one another to make sure they get a head start on repairs before the next round of rain and wind strikes.
It's very much a concern, you know, because trying to talk my house and trying to save what I can save, you know, that's my main concern.
So stressful.
It's really rough out there. I mean, pick your poison. It's either going to be fire that we've seen so far, wind damage, or water damage in all parts of the coast and inland surrounding the Houston area.
Yeah. A reminder here, we've got this whole crew, our Standing for Houston call center, ready to help you with any questions that you have. You can call them 713-609-9439. They're there to serve you, working to get answers. There's so much here to cover, such a widespread storm. We're going to have more for you right after this break. We're not going anywhere.
For too many parents, a baby's first steps aren't just a milestone. They're a miracle. A miracle made possible by volunteers like you, who walk and raise money in March for Babies. Sign up today to take the steps that help make milestones and even miracles possible. Who will you march for?
Dear Josh.
To my kids, Mireya and Jimmy.
To my son. Before long, you'll be driving.
Texting, talking on the phone, taking photos.
I want you to make every effort to avoid those distractions.
That text can wait, that email can wait, that song can wait.
Love, Dad.
Hurricane Harvey is here. As conditions deteriorate, we're here for you. If you lose your TV signal, you can find us on KHOU.com, the KHOU 11 Facebook page, and the KHOU 11 app, as well as our YouTube channel.
We also have a team here to answer your questions. You can call 713-609-9439 or email harvey@khou.com. We're in this together. KHOU stands for Houston.
It's hurricane season. Are you prepared?
Find out with KHOU 11 Hurricane Quick Tips.
From packing your supply kit to finding your evacuation routes,
home and family preparations, forecasting facts, and more.
Get the information you need to be ready if a hurricane threatens Houston.
Check out the KHOU 11 Hurricane Quick Tips. Online now at khou.com/hurricanes.
Tracking Harvey. Download the free KHOU 11 app.
KHOU 11 News starts now.
And back now with our continuing coverage of what has been a tumultuous weather day. This is the newest video into our newsroom of a reported tornado in the Cypress area. The Harris County Sheriff is tweeting tornadoes touched down at least 4 times.
Yeah, it'll make you say things you don't want the children to hear. Here's another view. Several homes in the Live Oak subdivision said to be damaged. This is on the northwest side. We're seeing roofs ripped off of homes there.
And more new video into the newsroom. A pickup truck flipped over after that reported tornado. One house caught fire in the middle of the storm as well. Folks, it has been a nerve-wracking 24 hours, especially for those folks along the South Texas coast, now dealing with devastating storm damage amid dangerous weather conditions.
Yeah, you just don't know when it's coming. Here in the greater Houston area, the severe weather has picked back up. David, Paul, we've been talking about the tornado activity. How bad where?
At the moment, all tornado warnings have been allowed to expire. We don't see anything rotating, so at the moment we're cautiously watching it, but no tornadoes for the moment reported. But we do have heavy rain moving into the area as the circulation around what is now Tropical Storm Harvey is sitting out here between San Antonio and Columbus, and there's some heavy rain out there as well. Here's a closer view of it on radar. So the immediate Houston area has had a break the past several hours. That's going to change because this heavy rain band is about to move into the area and perhaps cause at least street flooding and maybe exacerbate some of the bayou flooding problems out there now. Pretty heavy downpours across Lake Houston, northeast Harris County, Bushetta, Continental out to Atascocita and Roman Forest, but not causing significant flooding for the moment. This is a flash flood warning in effect for northwest Harris County, pushing up into Montgomery and Grimes County. This is where we had those tornadic storms earlier, and they also dumped some very heavy rain. And because of that, Little Cypress Creek in northwest Harris County at Becker Road, it has gone out of its banks there. It's currently at 195 feet. It's normally the top of the banks at 194 feet, so it's a little bit up out of its banks there. That's the only creek out there in northwest Harris County, the only part of Little Cypress that is in flood. The rest of Little Cypress is still well within its banks. This is Cypress Creek at Stubner Airline, and just for you folks in Cypress, it's still within its banks. Current level of the creek is 94.02. Top of bank is 102.7. So Cypress Creek, northwest Harris County, you're still doing okay, but the threat is that we're going to get more heavy rain tonight. And you can see with future track going into midnight tonight, heavy rain bands are possible. They may last overnight into tomorrow morning. And so the flood threat and the flash flood watch continues in effect tonight, tomorrow, and basically until further notice, until the storm finally moves out, which may be a while, because as you look at the latest forecast track from the Hurricane Center, it sits it over here for the next 3 days and then moves it slowly north. And so by Thursday, it's still out here in the Texas Hill Country, and we're still on the dirty side, and we'll still have a threat for heavy rain through Thursday. So the flood threat tonight and for the next several days is very significant, guys. We'll keep tracking it and keep you posted.
That time frame keeps stretching, David.
I know,
It used to be Tuesday, now it's Thursday.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
Oh,
my goodness.
man. All right, let's get back to Adam Bennett. He's in the Cypress area tracking the damage from at least one of those reported tornadoes.
He's live along Early Spring Drive and Harvest Bend, where there's some serious storm damage there. Adam, show it to us.
Well, this is Early Spring Drive, not far from FM 1960 and Jones Road. This is a house that caught fire just a couple hours ago. You can see it is a total loss. Heavy fire damage up on the second floor, a lot of smoke and water on the first floor, and now investigators clearing out some of the debris from inside. Now, we do have an update. This was just ruled accidental electric, so they don't think that it was weather that caused this. They say there were not tornadoes in this specific part of the Cy-Fair area, but still a real tragedy for the homeowners here, rather the woman who was renting. She's lived here for more than 10 years. She was here with her brother and also her grandson. But first, some good news, an update to what we showed you at 5. At that time, she was missing 2 kittens from this fire. She actually was reunited with one of them literally just seconds after we got off the air at 5. Just absolutely ecstatic. She says she's going to keep this one. It was one of a litter that she was planning to sell, but she calls it her miracle baby. She says she's just thrilled to be back with her animals here, especially after such a tough afternoon. She said she had just bought supplies for the storm. She had just bought school supplies for her grandson. All of that is a total loss, but she says the most important thing, she and her family made it out okay, and most of their pets did too. Let's hear from her.
Yes, this is our little boy. In fact, he's a miracle baby. My son was driving down the road one night, really, really dark, and this little baby crawled into the road, and he stopped, picked him up, brought him home, and he was the same age as the baby kitties that we just had birth. And so she accepted him and fed him, so we're keeping him because he's a miracle baby.
So some great news there. She was reunited with that kitten, although one kitten is still missing at this point. Now, all around this area, just down the road, farther down Barker Cypress, we saw a lot of damage from this storm. Probably the most dramatic example was a truck that had been flipped over on its side in the parking lot of a Walgreens. Across the street at a bank, some pieces of the roof were missing. We saw trees uprooted both in that parking lot, that shopping center, and also just up the street at the Berry Center. A lot of trees uprooted in that parking lot. The gate was knocked over. When I was talking to one of the sheriff's deputies there, he told me that there was a tornado that hit that area. Now, as far as we know, everybody's okay, including the 2 people that were in the car there. So some good news there, but it just shows you how powerful this storm was. By the way, for the people inside the house here, I just saw the fire department, one of the fire officials we talked to earlier, go and talk to them about Red Cross arrangements and getting them some help for what they've lost here today. But they should be able to stay with friends and family, and they do have insurance for this home. Guys.
Adam, thanks. One more kitten they need to rescue. They got one of them. Marcelino Benito, also in Cypress, tracking reports, again, of tornado damage.
He is at the Lone Oak subdivision. Marcelino, what are residents there telling you?
Well, guys, I want to introduce you to a guy named Dale Farmer, and he has a heck of a story to tell. He lives in this house right here. So, Dale, you saw it all. Tell me what happened.
Okay, well, like I said, told some other people, though, when we saw on TV that the tornado was headed our direction, and it was headed back towards the Berry Center, I walked out the front door just to look up at the sky to see what was happening up there, and all of a sudden I saw the tornado coming right over your right shoulder between the houses behind you. And I could actually see the funnel and everything twisting headed this direction.
And you're outside.
And I'm standing outside here, and I turn around, run back in the front door, into the house, run back into the closet where my wife and stepdaughter and grandson was at, and I told them, it's coming our way. And no more than I said that, I could hear the roaring sound of the tornado coming between our house and the neighbors as it just roared right through there. Sounded like a freight train.
And a whole lot of damage, right?
A whole lot of damage. Looks like a part of a tree broke off, hit my truck, hit the front of the house. I've got brick damage on the front, windows on the side blown out, back fences for all the adjoining neighbors is all blown away. We've got debris from all over the place in the back area back there.
But you're safe.
We're all safe.
And that's all that matters.
That is the main thing, that everybody here in the neighborhood here is safe. All we've got is the damage.
All right, thank you so much, Dale.
Yes, sir.
You heard it here, guys. A lot of homes damaged, but no one injured, and I guess that's the great news in all of this. Guys, back to you.
We are all safe. That's what you want to hear. Thanks, Marcelino.
And as we head to break, a live look at Galveston Island.
People come to the Caribbean for its translucent waters. We took it over the top, over the water villas, over the water chapel, over the water bar, over the water restaurants, over and above anything you could ever imagine. Sandals, the world's only 5-star luxury included resorts. Call 1-800-SANDALS.
Right now at VisionWorks, get 2 complete pairs of single vision glasses for $29, or 2 complete pairs of progressives for $69, plus 25% off all lens upgrades. Only at VisionWorks.
Right, 38, set, hot. Jason fades back with 3 seconds left. Breaks the tackle. He throws it deep. Tommy fires, and
it's good.
Right, Jason. It's a very good time to get a deal. Need to make room for the 2018 models.
Relive the thrill of beating the clock. The Volkswagen Model Year-End event. Hurry in and lease a 2017 Passat S for just $189 a month, plus $1,500 in available bonuses.
Gran, how do you make your sandwiches taste so good?
I make them with love.
Actually, it's the Blue Plate mayonnaise.
What?
Gran's been using rich, creamy Blue Plate for years to perk up the flavor in all your favorite foods.
So, the deviled eggs?
Blue Plate.
Potato salad?
Blue Plate.
Cookies?
No. She just buys those. Try new Blue Plate Light Mayo with Greek yogurt, a first of its kind.
How do we make sure there's toppings in each bite of Papa John's pizza? We check 80,000 times a year. Now get an extra large 2-topping pizza for just $11. Everyone's doing their part to make your game day better.
Right now at VisionWorks, get 2 complete pairs of single vision glasses for $29, or 2 complete pairs of progressives for $69, plus 25% off all lens upgrades. Only at VisionWorks.
Back now from Houston to hundreds of miles south along the coast.
Yeah.
The severe weather is really widespread.
Yeah, Pickett County, Fort Bend, Matagorda, Harris, all over the place. Let's take you back to Corpus Christi, near where the eye hit. Brett Buffington's been in between there and the town of Rockport. Brett?
And Lynn, Hurricane Harvey slammed into Rockport around 10 o'clock last night with winds sustained at 130 miles an hour, gusts even stronger than that. The storm also brought intense rain. Before the storm made landfall yesterday, the city's mayor had practically begged people to leave. Today, those people who stuck behind rode this storm out and survived have quite the story to tell. The water left behind on Rockport streets reflecting the signs of Harvey's strength, a storm strong enough to level buildings, rip apart roofs, and sink sailboats to the bottom of this marina. The smell of natural gas leaking is in the air in this coastal town that will likely spend weeks without power. City leaders urging people to wait before returning.
I'm ready to go. If I have to go, I can go. If it floods, I got my dinghy right there.
Craig Hack can now say he rode out what will be a historical hurricane.
Inside the boat.
Hunkered down in his sailboat.
Craig, were you scared? Not really scared. I was more worried about my cats.
This sailor certainly admits
your time's called. It's called.
And apparently August 25th, 2017 wasn't Hack's night to go. It's too ironic not to note this sailor hid from Harvey in a sailboat named Katrina.
I imagine that when we play this interview on TV, people are going to say, man, you're crazy.
Probably. I'm a little bit nutsy at times.
Now, the last time, thank goodness, first of all, that guy is here today to tell that story. The last time we were able to make a phone call here where we're staying in Corpus Christi over to Rockport, I talked to the city manager as the eye of Harvey was passing over last night. During that phone call, he told me that already in the first half of this storm, 10 people were injured and had to be taken to a makeshift hospital inside the town's jail. Of course, we are expecting the number of people injured in this storm to continue to rise. We're live in Corpus Christi this afternoon. Brett Buffington, KHOU 11 News.
Yeah, so many people injured and at least one person dead.
Yes.
After Hurricane Harvey. You know, Victoria is a little further inland, but still felt the effects of Hurricane Harvey.
Certainly did. And we find Larry Siebert there. He's got an update. Larry?
Yeah, Lynn, nobody is taking down the plywood. Places are still boarded up because there is still the threat potential. But this Exxon gas station, it still took a hit despite all these precautions. You can see their ice machine tossed to the side as if it's a toy. But really, the hardest hit part of this gas station, look at the awning. I'm not even under there because it looks a little too dangerous. You can hear pieces of metal rattling around that were just ripped apart by the winds here last night.
people that have left Victoria, we met a number of them that went north to Houston to take cover. They've been calling and asking, when can we come home? When can we go check on our businesses? Listen, there are roads that are in and out of Victoria that are closed right now. There are roads in Victoria that are closed. There is a curfew for residents in town because there are too many down power lines. There is too much debris around on some of the residential streets that we showed you earlier, and authorities are trying to clean that up. 24,000 people in this area without power and water. There is none. 5 water towers in this town. The pumps to them do not work. The city officials right now trying to fix that, but that's just one of the reasons why they do not want people who've evacuated to try to come back to Victoria right now. And those that did stay here and hunkered down, we talked to some of them. They are staying in their houses. Again, there is a curfew in effect until 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. That curfew will then again resume Sunday night. They're hoping conditions improve here, but again, rain still coming down. The flooding threat is real. Some streets, ramp from 59 into Victoria was already flooding as we came into town. We're not exactly sure if we're going to be able to leave Victoria or where we're going to stay tonight, but we are going to find safe shelter. You can rest assured on that. We're going to go over and talk to some more people. There are some cars that are driving around, mainly people who are trying to get from point A to point B. Again, authorities have a curfew in effect for Victoria. Again, they want viewers in the Houston area to know, one sheriff deputy told me this, make sure you tell them do not try to come home or come to check on their businesses in Victoria tonight. We're going to send it back to you.
All right, Larry Seaward, you know, it's hard to believe this just about 120 or so miles south of the Houston area and all that damage there.
It's incredible.
It really
and we're
is.
seeing remnants of it still. Folks in Sienna Plantation, that's in Fort Bend County, they're safe tonight, but their homes, many of them a mess. Fortunately, no one was hurt when a tornado-like cell hit down there.
Melissa Correa has been walking the community all day. Mel, how's it looking now?
Well, Mia, at this point, the media is kicked out. Fort Bend County Sheriff's deputies are only allowing residents into the neighborhoods here in Sienna Plantation, and folks are working through the mess tonight. From down tree limbs to tarps on roofs, tonight they're all in it together. Parts of Sienna Plantation are par for the course when it comes to Harvey.
Just everything's down. Trampolines, there's a trampoline over there.
About 50 houses in a community that boasts hundreds of homes were hit hard. And within the mess, the magic of a good neighbor.
So we just escaped and we're just a couple blocks over.
Jaron and Rebecca Quincy used four-wheel drive to make house calls.
I mean, I guess, how can you prepare for something like this?
From tackling tarps to breaking down bark, Harvey may have slowed things down, but folks are still standing. Like these neighbors who cleaned things up for a 90-year-old woman who happened to leave just in the nick of time.
Yeah, I mean, the streets are impassable. There's people trying to get things cleaned up before the next rain hits, so houses are destroyed. It's not good.
Fort Bend County deputies kept looky-loos away as construction crews and roofers braced themselves for work in the rain. And while you could be in awe of what happened overnight, it's the kindness of neighbors people are choosing to remember. At this point, it's anyone's guess as to what blew through this corner of Fort Bend County. I can tell you the National Weather Service has not called it yet. Some folks siding on the fact they think it was a tornado that twisted through here, guys. Others believe it was ferocious straight line winds. We're hoping those weather experts at the National Weather Service will weigh in soon. Len, Mia.
All right, a lot going on out there in the community of Sienna Plantation, including the local high school being impacted as well.
Okay, we have our expert here, David Paul, chief meteorologist. How are things looking right now? You've been looking at this storm now for several days.
Well, we're still on the wet side of the storm, and unfortunately, it's moving very, very slowly. It's really, for all practical purposes, stationary right now, and that keeps us to the east or wet side of the center, and so the threat for these heavy rain bands to come through really off and on all night will be with us. And so the flash flood threat is very high tonight and will last at least into tomorrow. Also, the red box you see here, we continue to be under a tornado watch. That means conditions are favorable for the development of tornadoes. And in fact, as we zoom in here on HD Doppler, there's downtown not too bad. But I point out this area of rain and thunderstorms coming into to Fort Bend County, and you see that polygon right here. That is a new tornado warning that has just been issued for this line of storms moving into Fort Bend County. We've got a little bit of a couplet here near Pleak, a little couplet here just north of Rosenberg, a little couplet here looks like near Weston Lakes. So all along that little boundary there, this little line that's going to be moving through Harris County here fairly soon, you can expect the possibility for these small tornadoes to spin up very quickly, perhaps do some damage to roofs or fences, and then very quickly spin up and go on away. So that is tracking to Fort Bend County right now. Also, we have had one of the creeks come out of its banks. This is Little Cypress Creek in far northwest Harris County at Becker Road. It is now above bank full. I am keeping an eye on all the bayous, and as we look at Cypress Creek at Stubner Airline, for the moment it is within its banks, but it is coming up. And so all the bayous have a threat for flooding as heavy rain is quite likely overnight tonight, also lasting into at least tomorrow morning. And because of that, the flash flood watch is in effect through tonight, through tomorrow, and really until further notice, because the forecast for this from the Hurricane Center still has it sitting just to the west for a couple of days and then still off to our west by Thursday. Still there on Thursday. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back with more. Stay with us.
How do we make sure there's toppings in each bite of Papa John's pizza? We check 80,000 times a year. Now get an extra large 2-topping pizza for just $11. Everyone's doing their part to make your game day better.
I'm proud to announce the Henderson family is going with Academy.
Was this an easy choice?
You tell me. Why would I pay more for sports equipment when I can pay less?
Start your season with the best brands at the lowest prices guaranteed. Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Hey, y'all ready to go A to Z with H-E-B and me? Apple in the backpack, crayons, despicable Elmer's, photos, grapes. By the bunch. Heroes, igloo juice, and the kids who love my name on my pencil case. Quenches the ruler, Star Wars never cooler. Tech gear, you looking VIP. Hey. Wide ruler, college, extra knowledge. Yellow highlighter, VIP. Zip it up.
Find everything you need to fill the locker and the lunchbox for less, all in one place. It's as easy as H-E-B.
Now you save from A to Z with back to school at H-E-B.
Around here, my job is to keep everyone safe.
Come on, Mom.
So to avoid injury, we always stay at least 10 feet away from power lines when skimming the pool or trimming trees. And if there's ever a down power line, I keep my family and pets away and call CenterPoint Energy immediately.
Ready?
Let's go.
CenterPoint Energy is committed to providing you safe, reliable electric delivery. CenterPoint Energy, always there.
At Beaches, everything's included. For everyone.
That's right, my generation. Yeah, all about a good time. Yeah, all about a good life. You won't believe it.
Beaches All-Inclusive Resorts. Call 1-800-BEACHES.
How do we make sure there's toppings in each bite of Papa John's pizza? We check 80,000 times a year. Now get an extra large 2-topping pizza for just $11. Everyone's doing their part to make your game day better.
Living with chest pain was limiting what my husband could do. When he was turned down for heart surgery, we learned about protected PCI with Impella, a treatment option for some high-risk heart patients who are not candidates for bypass surgery. If you or a loved one have been turned down for heart surgery, ask your doctor and visit Impella.com to learn about the procedure and see if it may be an option for you. We're so grateful to our heart team that protected PCI with Impella was an option for him and us.
For several days now, we've been taking your questions about Harvey. We have had a team here all day to make sure we can answer those questions.
They're on the job, and our Ron Trevino is with those good folks at our help desk taking your phone calls. Ron?
That's right, Mia. We stand for Houston, and here is the number to call if you have questions, any kind of question about this storm. 713-609-9439. Write it down. We're going to be here all night long. These are volunteers, people who work in our station in various departments. Alexis is has been here for a couple hours. Alexis, what kind of questions are you getting from viewers?
We're getting a lot of questions on school closures, specifically KEISD and Cy-Fair ISD. They have not updated their information for Monday, so as far as we know right now, there's no school on Monday. We're also getting a lot of rising water questions in bayous and, you know, what places are flooding as far as streets and all of that. So we're trying to help these people as much as we can.
How's your family in South Texas?
Oh, they're doing okay. They're in Carroll so far. The lights are out, but they're okay and they're safe.
All right, thank you so much, Alexis. So any kind of question you might have, a lot of questions about FEMA. People want to contact FEMA already because of their damage, or maybe they want to volunteer, and we tell them to go to the Red Cross. Again, here's the number, all night long, 713-609-9439. Our coverage continues after this.
In celebration of her 45th birthday, get 45% off Maaco's most popular paint service and Meineke's oil change packages. A deal so good, you'll want to celebrate twice.
Nissan is the premier partner of the Heisman Trophy, and we surprised fans with this award-winning lineup.
Herschel Walker,
Are you guys ready to go train with us? Let's go do it! Then, here we go. They experienced Nissan's award-winning lineup.
See why they call it the Titan.
It's Nissan's bottom line model year-end event. For a limited time, save up to $11,760 on the 2017 Nissan Titan XD.
I'd love to own a Titan.
In celebration of her 45th birthday, get 45% off Maaco's most popular paint service and Meineke's oil change packages. A deal so good, you'll want to celebrate twice.
Get the tips you need to be ready for hurricane season at khou.com/hurricanes.
You've said your vows. Now it's our turn. We Sandals take you newlyweds as our lawful loving guests to serve and to spoil you from this day forward for better, for even better, for now, forever, in luxury and style until the day do us part. Sandals, the world's only 5-star luxury included honeymoon. Call 1-800-SANDALS and save up to 65%.
We've been telling you damage everywhere. Galveston seen its share of flooding, rain, and more today.
And Jason Miles joins us now from the island with what he is seeing now. Jason?
I'm down on the beach, guys. Take a look. The white caps behind me. The seas are pretty rough still. The surf, I should say. This is the Gulf of Mexico. I'm just below the seawall that protects much of Galveston. In fact, city officials expected about a 2 to 4 foot storm surge along the wall last night, up to 8 feet on the west end in areas not protected by the seawall. But I don't think it got that bad, and it definitely didn't get as bad as they thought as in terms of flooding and wind damage. There are some streets that remain flooded a little bit, maybe 3 to 4 inches of water. We were downtown along the Strand. It looked like the first level of some businesses, some of those historic buildings downtown did suffer a little bit of water damage. But for the most part, I think people on Galveston are really breathing a sigh of relief. And I've spoken with people who have lived here for decades, lived through the big storms, Ike, even going back to what was it, Alicia in '83 and Allison in 2001. They say Harvey did not pack the punch they thought it might, although having lived through these types of storms, they are feeling for the people farther south in Rockport, Corpus Christi, and elsewhere. They know it'll be a tough road ahead for those folks. Meantime, people who may have evacuated after the voluntary evacuation order was issued yesterday, they went to Lamarck. That shelter was moved to League City earlier this afternoon. Only about 25 to 30 people at the point I checked in with city officials. Meantime, the Texas A&M campus here on Galveston, about 70 students were moved to College Station as a precaution. That's the latest from here. We'll keep watching. Back to you.
All right, thank you, sir. Fortunately, things have calmed down on the island, but this storm packing a punch like Mayweather and McGregor. Look at the storm and the trees that have been knocked down all up and down the coast and in the Houston area.
So much more to see still ahead. That's next as we track Harvey.
Win tickets to the Advocare Texas Kickoff. Enter now on the KHOU 11 Facebook page.
It's the Kia Summer SUV Clearance Event from the brand ranked #1 in initial quality by J.D. Power 2 years in a row. We're celebrating with deals on J.D. Power award-winning SUVs like the capable Sorento, the adventurous Turbo Soul, and the Nero, the most fuel-efficient crossover. Plus, the versatile Sportage, named a KBB.com Best Buy. Hurry in for great offers on quality SUVs at the Kia Summer SUV Clearance Event. And now get up to $4,000 cash back on a new 2017 Sorento.
Attention, if you're 55 years or older, you may have been exposed to asbestos and not even know it. Billions of dollars have been set aside to compensate victims. Call 1-855-579-5299. Get a free local health test and see if you qualify for cash compensation. If you're 55 years or older and experience any unexplained health problems, you may have been exposed to asbestos. Those at highest risk include pipe fitters, mill workers, insulators, boilermakers, or any job that included working in or around asbestos. Schedule your free health test now. 1-855-579-5299. Call 1-855-579-5299. Call right now.
He's asleep, finally. Those powerful lungs have fallen silent. You lay there with just the odd twitch or sniffle. And in this moment of bliss, you think, I should turn the lights off. And the TV. Sweet dreams.
Enjoy the moment, wherever you are, with the Hive Smart Home Plans from $9.99 a month. Hive, let's get living.
Now at the Honda Summerbration sales event, you can get a great deal on a Honda Accord and make every summer moment that much brighter. Summer fun starts here at the Honda Summerbration sales event. The sun is setting on these amazing deals. Get a Honda Accord today from KBB.com's Best Value brand. Ends September 5th.
That's a
No exaggerated reaction there, not when you're witnessing this. This is the newest video into our newsroom this evening. A reported tornado up in the Cypress area. The Harris County Sheriff has been tweeting tornadoes touched down at least 4 times. We know several different neighborhoods were impacted by that one cell, that one system. We're talking about Black Horse Ranch. We're talking about Copper Lakes. Our own Jason Bristol, one of his neighbors, captured video of the system from Town Lake where he was. I mean, it's really been something here. And I think a lot of people thought, you know, oh, hurricane comes on shore, it impacted, it hit really hard, Rockport and Corpus Christi, but boy, is it now packing a punch here in the Houston area as well.
Yeah, people who've been around a long time say it didn't pack the punch that they expected, but it's still bad, and it's still here. David Paul, tell us about it.
And we've got a tornado warning now in Fort Bend County. This one's near Fulshear, heading toward the Katy area. Big picture, tornado watch includes most of southeast Texas. There's the center of Harvey, now a tropical storm, but we're on the dirty side, and so we're getting all the heavy rain to the east of the center. And as this band, this thin band of very heavy thunderstorms that racing into Fort Bend County now, that has prompted our latest tornado warning. It's within this polygon. You see there's Rosenberg, there's Sugar Land, there's Mission Bend. And so there's Fulshear, and that's where we've got our little couplet. This is the Doppler part of Doppler radar. Can see the rotation in there. That storm is here. It's, you know, it's moving north, but the whole band is moving east. So folks in the Katy area, that rotation is moving toward you. Since we've already seen some tornadoes with these rotations, I would urge you to let that storm ride out with you at the bottom floor of your home or business, inside an interior room of your home, away from windows. That is a safe place to be as these tornadic storms come through. And so there it is, pushing toward the Katy area right now. That's in effect for the next 25 minutes. Little Cypress Creek, northwest Harris County, had a burst of heavy rain earlier. It is the only creek right now in our area that is in flood. It's at 195.17 feet. It's just above bank full of 194.6 feet. The rest of Little Cypress Creek is below bank full. And we checked Cypress Creek in northwest Harris County, and it's still within its banks, but you can see here at Stubner Airline, the last reading was 94.02 feet. Bank full is at 102.7 feet. We're monitoring all the bayous as there is a chance we could see heavy rounds of rain overnight tonight. That's midnight tonight with a chance for some heavy rain. Going all the way into tomorrow morning, a chance for heavy rain. And this really illustrates what the dirty side of a storm means. You know, the center is right here. To the west, not so much. To the east, the dirty side, that's where all the flooding threat is. And unfortunately, we're going to sit on the east side of this circulation today, tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The storm is still to our west. It weakens. Hopefully it weakens enough so it doesn't continue the flood threat through Thursday, but it is a possibility. Here's the extended forecast. We've got a rain chance, high rain chance tonight into Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 80% Wednesday. We'll try to drop it to 70% on Thursday, 60% Friday, 60% on Saturday. We're in the middle of a heavy flood threat. We're monitoring it. We'll keep you posted, guys. Back to you.
My goodness, it's going to be a long, long week. David, Paul, thanks. Let's go back to Adam Bennett. He's in the Cypress area where there was a house fire just a little over an hour ago.
Yeah, live along Early Spring Drive and Harvest Bend. Some serious damage there to that home. Adam, you're back with us.
Well, guys, this home is a total loss after the fire that struck just a couple hours ago. You can see investigators hosing down some of the debris that they found inside, possessions of a woman who lived here for more than 10 years. Now, they just ruled within the last hour or so that this fire was accidental. It was electrical in nature. At this point, they don't believe it was weather related. Some good news, though. When we had talked to the homeowner about an hour earlier, she had been missing 2 kittens. 5 had been rescued, but she was still missing 2. Well, literally just a few seconds after our live shot, she was reunited with one of those kittens. That animal is doing just fine. She was obviously over the moon about that. Some good news on what's been a very, very tough afternoon. Total fire damage on the 2nd floor, a lot of smoke and water damage on the 1st floor. Possessions including school supplies, clothes for her grandson, a lot of memories inside that home, all a total loss. But she says she's keeping her attitude positive and she's grateful that at least she has one of her pets back.
Yes, this is our little boy. In fact, he's a miracle baby. My son was driving down the road one night, really, really dark, and this little baby crawled into the road, and he stopped, picked him up, brought him home, and he was the same age as the baby kitties that we just had birth, and so she accepted him and fed him, so we're keeping him because he's a miracle baby.
And while this area has seen some rain, we've seen a lot worse weather conditions on the opposite side of 290 along Barker Cypress near the Berry Center. We saw a gate blown over, we saw trees uprooted, and then farther down the street at a Walgreens, we saw a truck flipped over on its side from the wind along with several other trees uprooted and tiles blown off the roof. A sheriff's deputy there telling me that was from a tornado that touched down in that area. But back here live at this house, the good news is that everybody that was inside here got out okay, although there is still one kitten unaccounted for last time we checked. And the homeowner was talking to a fire official who is getting her in touch with the Red Cross to get her some help and some resources as she begins that tough recovery process. Guys.
Thanks, Adam. And suddenly, the northwest side, just in the last hour, a magnet for tornadoes. Marcelino Benito is also in the Cypress area tracking reports of more tornado damage.
He's at the Lone Oak subdivision. Marcelino, what's the situation?
Well, guys, we just actually got our hands on some pretty great surveillance video, exclusive surveillance video you're only going to see right here that captures the moment that tornado came right through the Lone Oak subdivision. It's from a neighbor's surveillance camera. Let's roll that video so you can see what we're talking about. It's a camera right on the side of the house, right where that tornado went by. And you're going to see that circulation as that tornado is coming by up the grass. You're going to see the fences start flying. Towards the end of the video, it's about 13 seconds, so hopefully we're looping it for you. You're going to see a piece of tin that ends up right next to that house. That's part of the air conditioning vent that was around there. It's impressive video that comes from a neighbor's surveillance camera. I talked to that neighbor earlier. We didn't put him on air yet, but that neighbor tells us he was inside his house. He is watching the news. He was watching our coverage, informing them that a tornado was heading towards his area. All of a sudden, the house starts to shake. He feels whatever's going on outside. He remembers when it's all over that he has that surveillance video system. He looked on it, and after all that, he noticed that that video was on his system. He shared it with us, and you're now seeing it for the first time on our air. Luckily, again, guys, we've said it repeatedly over and over again in this neighborhood, no injuries, and that's the really good news out of all this. The one bad news I have to report is that more weather is starting to move in. The rain had died off for maybe half an hour, 45 minutes. It has started to rain on us again, so neighbors here hoping that at least that it might continue to rain, but that they won't see any more tornadoes throughout the rest of the night. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, Marcelino, we know these things always happen so fast. Did he tell you about the amount of time that this all transpired, or were you able to tell by looking at the video?
Well, just based on the video, you'll notice the video is about a 13-second clip. So it zipped by his house within 13 seconds. That's the only piece of video that's the only piece of the tornado that the camera caught. He says the entire experience from the roar of the sound outside to when it was all over and he was able to step outside safely was maybe 2 or 3 minutes. So these things, as David Pauls mentioned throughout the whole newscast, these things have been moving incredibly quickly once they hit the ground and they move through our area.
And Marcelino, was it his house that was hit by the fence, or was it his house that had the fence torn down?
Both, Len. His fence was torn off and flew somewhere else. That piece of wood that you see was from his neighbor's fence, and it comes crashing into his house as well. So all of the above, anything that wasn't tied down, even fences that were secured, they went flying when this thing came through, and you can see that clearly in that video.
What else have you been able to see strewn across the area there, Marcelino? We saw the fence line. You said pretty much anything else that wasn't tethered down. What else are you seeing?
Well, we saw some trampolines that were upside down in another neighbor's yard. Rocks, actually big chunks of rocks that were nearby in a pool in the backyard, those were tossed around. Trees, neighbors were telling me that they could sort of track the way their trees went. One of the trees traveled several yards and ended up in another backyard pool. We've seen all sorts of things in this neighborhood, and when we talked to the sheriff about an hour ago, he told us they're still not quite sure how many homes might be damaged in this area. Their teams are still out assessing. When we talked to the sheriff about 30 minutes ago, he said it was about 30 homes, but there might be a lot more once they're done assessing all the damage in this subdivision, Lone Oak.
All right. Wow, what a situation there. Absolutely incredible video. Glad everyone is okay. Marcelino Benito, thanks so much. Folks, remember, you can give us a call if you have any questions, 713-609-9439.
Long live the trucks with a strong Texas backbone. With 100% full grain leather seats and a coil link suspension that smooths out the ride. They're built to handle whatever Texas dishes out. Get a great deal on the longest lasting pickups in Texas.
Get 0% APR for 72 months or an average $13,252 in total values on Ram 1500 Lone Star Silver Crew Cab. And Texas residents get $500 Chrysler Capital bonus cash.
Who gives you the best entertainment experience and more? The easiest way to access Netflix. More to stream to any screen. Up to 55 megabits of speed when you bundle, and up to 5 lines of unlimited talk and text included with your internet. Fact for fact, Xfinity delivers. AT&T just doesn't stack up. Get the best in entertainment and fast internet for $25 each a month for 12 months when you buy both. And get HBO or Showtime included to stream on any screen. Plus, ask how to add Xfinity Mobile. Click, call, or visit a store today.
Experience uncompromising performance at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event before it ends.
Lease the 2017 IS Turbo for $299 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Food, water, internet. We need it to live. But what we don't need are surprises, like extra monthly fees. I see you fee played by legendary actress Angelica Houston.
You got me, Mark.
We just want fast internet for one simple rate. For all the streaming and the shopping and the newsing, but most of all, for this.
Internet for one everyday simple price and no extra monthly fees.
Experience unparalleled luxury at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event before it ends.
Lease the 2017 ES350 for $299 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Next up, Clear Lake Shores, that is down in Galveston County. A lot of rain falling there.
So much rain that a restaurant is underwater. Josh Chapin is out there. Not a good situation for that restaurant owner, Josh.
Yeah, Len and Mia, not a good situation at all, but some good news is down here right next to Clear Lake, which feeds into Galveston Bay. The water had been right up to the top of my boot, but as you can see, the street is dry, and this is a street that's prone to flooding. We are on North Shore Drive here in Clear Lake Shores, and Thomas McAndrew has lived here 12 years. He's gone through Rita, he's gone through Ike, he's living through Harvey. What are your thoughts so far?
Well, I'm very thankful so far. We're hopeful that the rain
doesn't exceed the capacity of the water to get out of Clear Lake into the bay and back out into the Gulf.
Now you're here through Ike. I mean, where was this storm compared to what we're talking about
much greater. So Ike was about halfway up the wall. If you can see the wall up there, it's about 5 feet or so as you're standing up there. And it was a very significant storm. Allison was basically just cover your feet in the ground, but we only got up to the pine needle line right here. So it definitely, so far, it's been much better, but we have another 3 or 4 days to go based on what the weather guessers are saying.
I always ask people, I always wonder, why live in a area that's prone to flood? Because this isn't unusual on any given, hard thunderstorm day.
Well, we love it down here. We're water people. I can usually have a dock right there, and I can walk out on the dock and jump on my paddleboard and go every morning. But it's a beautiful place. We like it down here, but it's just the cost of doing business to live on the water. We have a pretty good evacuation drill as far as moving stuff up in the house, out of the yards, up in the house, and moving cars. So we're pretty aware of the conditions and can get out quickly if we need to.
Okay, Thomas McAndrew, thank you so much for your time. Again, a gentleman who's lived through Rita, lived through Ike, Allison, he's seen it all, and hopefully the next few days Harvey doesn't do too much to damage this Clear Lake Shores community. As we showed you in the last half hour, there was a restaurant that was underwater. We're going to try and talk to those folks and bring you more later on tonight. Back to you guys in the studio.
The storms he's talking about, I know you've lived through as well growing up here.
Oh my goodness, going back to Alicia, that's for sure. All right, unfortunately when it rains, it pours. Bad news for some Houston neighborhoods who are just prone to flooding.
Yeah, that's true for many areas on the northeast side, and that's where we find Jennifer Titus, where things are starting to look better, aren't they, Jennifer?
Well, they're looking a lot better since you guys saw me at 5 o'clock. We're here at Northwood Manor, but I can tell you it's rained a lot here today. So much so, take a look right there. That was the water line. That is how high the water got. Thankfully, it's gone down a lot, but this is just the start of the rain that is forecasted, and that's why people here are worried, because they know how bad it can get. They say they're just happy, though, because officials today got to see it firsthand. Council members Amanda Edwards and Jerry Davis, along with Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, toured these flood-prone areas in Houston today. That included here in Northwood Manor. They say they wanted to see the situation now before it's at its worst, and they saw that things right now, they are not good. James Armstead, who's lived here for 30 years, says he's complained about the water forever, and hopefully now officials seeing it firsthand may start to help fix the problem.
I would really like to see them improve the drainage. That's to be the main thing, and that way I'll be able to, in case it's raining, I can leave the house sometime instead of just have to sit there till it go down.
And back out here live, it may be a little late now, but he's just hoping somehow, some way they will find a way to help eliminate some of all of this stuff that's in this drainage ditch here. He's also hoping over the next couple of days the water doesn't get too high, and these homes, for the most part, guys, will stay dry. We can only hope.
Jennifer, thanks. Every time we get a lot of rain, it does spark a discussion, depending on your neighborhood, about improving drainage. I'm sure when it's all said and done, we will be hearing about it and asking the mayor about it all over again. More about this storm. We've had a team here all day ready to answer any of your questions.
Ron Trevino with the folks at our help desk, our Standing for Houston help desk, taking your phone calls. Those phones have been keeping busy, Ronnie.
They have been. I was hoping to interview one of our volunteers, but they're all on the phone. That's a good thing that the people are watching and taking the initiative if they have some questions they want to have answered. Here again is the phone line at 713-609-9439. Our volunteers were here all night long. They're working in shifts. They're asking you all sorts of questions, everything from like, how do I get in touch with FEMA? Or, what are the flooding issues near my neighborhood? Or even asking about the tornado watches and warnings in their area. A lot of people calling from the Cypress area, where we had some of those tornadoes touching down this afternoon. But it's great to have these volunteers here. Again, sometimes we don't have the answer to your question, but we will go into the newsroom, we'll go online, we'll try to get those answers for you. There are so many questions that we have. We all know that information is vital right now. And all we can do to help you is what we're going to be doing tonight. They'll be here all night long, taking your questions. And don't hesitate. You might think it's a stupid question, but no question is stupid right now. It might be a very good question that somebody else wants the answer to. So back to you there in the studio.
Ronnie, thank you. We're taking your calls again, so please feel free to send us your questions as we continue to look at some of the damage caused by Harvey, still floating out, now downgraded to a tropical storm.
How do we make sure there's toppings in each bite of Papa John's pizza? We check 80,000 times a year. Now get an extra large 2-topping pizza for just $11. Everyone's doing their part to make your game day better.
Right now at Rooms To Go, you can get beautiful furniture for your home and make low interest-free monthly payments with no minimum purchase. It's simple. Buy whatever you want and get 60-month interest-free financing. Buy an entire living room, a stylish bedroom, elegant dining room, a single piece of furniture, whatever you want. Get big Rooms To Go savings and finance with no interest for 60 months. I'm telling you, this is an amazing deal, and it's happening right now at Rooms To Go.
During our Made to Move 2017 clearance event, you can do endless online research about the XT5. Or you can come in and have it all for less than you might imagine. Don't wait. Our 2017 models will be moving fast. You can drive a car, or you can drive a Cadillac. Texas residents get this low-mileage lease on this Cadillac XT5 from around $339 per month. Plus, Houston area residents can get an additional $1,000 toward the lease.
How do we make sure there's toppings in each bite of Papa John's pizza? We check 80,000 times a year. Now get an extra large 2-topping pizza for just $11. Everyone's doing their part to make your game day better.
What's up, Vince?
Hey, guys. Who wants an HEB Prime 1 burger and accoutrements?
Accoutrements? You got a food truck now?
Yeah, I'm retired, so I got into the food biz. I've got Check the Runner chicken burger, Prime 1 beef Springer slider, and astronomical salmon burger, and more.
Hey, what's a weighty Wilfork?
Glad you asked. My baby, yeah. All of the above.
Ay, Dios mío.
Exactly.
HEB Prime 1 burgers, made with prime ground chuck in store daily.
This Hyundai summer clearance event, we're gonna make it better. No, yes. We're gonna make it better by giving customers what they really want, like amazing deals on a brand new Hyundai. Now that's better. This isn't just an event. This is the Hyundai Summer Clearance Event.
Better is the reason to buy Hyundai.
And that's how we do it.
And here's another reason to buy now. For a limited time, get up to $4,500 in total savings on the Santa Fe Sport.
Let's reset for the next customer.
Visit buyhyundai.com today.
We've been following an incredible story where there was a house fire on the northwest side. Adam Bennett is covering it for us. That's down in the Cypress area.
He's live along Early Spring Drive and Harvest Bend, where there is some serious damage to that home. He joins us now. Adam?
Well, the firefighters just cleared out of here. This home is a total loss. Luckily, everybody inside is okay. Now, originally, officials thought this may have been a weather-related fire. They thought lightning may have caused it. That's not the case. It was accidental, but that doesn't mean that the weather hasn't caused a lot of damage around this area. Imagine a truck of this size right here flipped over on its side. That's what we saw just a couple miles away from where we are right now near FM 1960 and Jones Road. Again, just down the street on the other side of 290 along Barker Cypress and West Road, we saw a truck actually a little bit farther south of that location, flipped on its side in a Walgreens parking lot. We also saw several trees uprooted and much, much more. This was all from a tornado that touched down in that area, according to sheriff's deputies. We also saw trees uprooted and the fence knocked over in the parking lot of the Berry Center, and several roofs had tiles missing. Again, this gives you just an idea of how powerful this wind was earlier. It was a quick storm, but it left a lot of damage behind. Guys, back to you.
All right, Adam Bennett reporting there for us. Thanks so much. A devastating fire up in the Cypress area.
Fortunately, we are seeing breaks from the storm in some areas. We know Galveston has seen its share of rain and flooding today.
Yeah, but the last time we checked in with Jason Miles, it was pretty quiet down there. Let's check back in with him. Still quiet, Jason?
Yeah, this time last night I was getting pummeled by heavy rain and wind. It could hardly stand up. It's still windy out here, no doubt, but as far as Galveston goes, I think a lot of people are breathing a sigh of relief, and several people have told me they've seen those devastating pictures from the Corpus Christi area, Rockport, even the tornado damage from the Houston area. They feel really badly for those folks considering what they've been through today here on the island. A little bit of street flooding, some structural damage. I'm told one vacant building, a wall partially collapsed, but that's about it. Now, obviously, people said, you know, prepare for the worst. So some people did leave the island. They're starting to come back now, and we'll continue to monitor things throughout the evening. That's the latest from here, guys.
Glad it looks so much better. Thank you, David Paul. That looks good, but everywhere else you got some problems.
Yeah, more heavy rain is coming in. We're about to get a band of heavy thunderstorms come across the west side, and I think the central and east side as this band of rain will slowly move across the area. This is the big picture. We're under a tornado watch until 2 a.m. That's the center of Harvey out there near San Antonio, where they're getting heavy rain and some flooding reported south of Austin. Here's our area. Here's where I'm concerned. This heavy band of rain is coming in right now, producing heavy thunderstorms in the Katy area, heading toward Addicks and Mission Bend and Sugar Land and Richmond Rosenberg and Great Wood, and then this is eventually going to push into northwest and West Harris County, so Cypress, Jersey Village, Copperfield, folks down there on the energy corridor. That's all moving in your direction, and I think it arrives in downtown in about an hour and a half or 2 hours. There is a tornado warning that is in effect. This spot right here near Pecan Grove was showing signs of rotation. Looks like that rotation may have weakened, but if there is a tornado with this one, it's right there north of Pecan Grove, drifting north. Let's see, that is the West Park Tollway. There's Cinco Ranch. There's I-10 out past Addicks and moving toward Katy. So right here is where you got the hot colors and the cool colors. So near Oakland Elementary, near Pecan Grove Elementary School, that's where we've got that rotation. Bottom floor, interior room, away from windows. This is the safe place to be when these little tornadoes come through. We've seen fence damage and roof damage from tornadoes like this, and so that's the damage I'd expect from that. It's going to move north, as is the individual rain cells as they continue to wrap around the counterclockwise rotation of what is still Tropical Storm Harvey. This is midnight tonight. We could still see some heavy rain into 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Yes, we could still see some heavy rain, and because of that, the flash flood watch is in effect tonight, tomorrow, and really until further notice, because unfortunately, as we look at the updated forecast track from the Hurricane Center, for the remnants of Harvey still to the west on Thursday. Guys, back over to you.
Thanks, David. And thank you all for joining us on this extended coverage. We know a lot of you have been watching and following along as we continue to cover this historic storm.
We're going to take a break and get you back to your regular programming. That includes football tonight. But there are a lot of ways you can stay on top of development, stay connected.
Yeah, we're keeping our Stands for Houston helpline open all night long. You're looking at our team standing by to answer any questions you may have. Again, the number 713-609-9439. Taking any questions you may have. People want to know about where the rain may come, where tornadoes may be, who they can call in case of an emergency. We try, if we don't know it, we'll call and get somebody else who can then give you the information.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are concerned about their friends, family, further down south in places like Rockport, where we've had one confirmed death there. A lot of work to be done down there in that area. So be patient, I know, as you're trying to make those calls. But if you need some assistance, some direction as to who to be in touch with, how to reach someone, go ahead and give us a shout. Perhaps we can help.
Yeah, we have crews all across the region, including way down in Corpus Christi. We are taking your questions live on Facebook as well. We are riding out this storm along with you, standing for Houston through Harvey. Again, the number, 713-609-9439.
We are here for you, and we're going to join you just as soon as the game is over tonight. In the meantime, be safe, stay connected, and stay informed.
We'll see you after the game.
That's some crazy, bro. That's a
I'm really scared. I was more worried about my cats.
This is our little boy. In fact, he's a miracle baby.
Tornado, Cypress, Texas.
There's no way to describe that powerful wind. Trees are down, cable line is hanging.
I hope that it don't happen again.
tickets to the Advocare Texas Kickoff. Enter now on the KHOU 11 Facebook page.
Harvey is here. We're here for you.
The KHOU 11 weather team is working around the clock, tracking Harvey every step of the way.
Call 713-609-9439 or email harvey@khou.com.
During our Made to Move 2017 clearance event, you can do endless online research about the XT5. Or you can come in and have it all for less than you might imagine. Don't wait. Our 2017 models will be moving fast. You can drive a car, or you can drive a Cadillac.
Texas residents get this low-mileage lease on this Cadillac XT5 from around $339 per month.
Plus, Houston area residents can get an additional $1,000 toward the lease.
Now through Labor Day at NTB. Buy 2 tires, get 2 free when you purchase our value installation package. Plus, use your store credit card and receive a $75 mail-in rebate on purchases of $500 or more. Hurry in to NTB.
Track your pack. Set a curfew or 2. Make dinner time device-free. A smarter way to Wi-Fi is awesome. Introducing Xfinity XFi. Amazing speed, coverage, and control. Change the way you Wi-Fi. Introducing Xfinity XFi. Switch today and enjoy double the download speed. Click, call, or visit today.
Nissan is the premier partner of the Heisman Trophy, and we surprised fans with this award-winning lineup. Marcus Allen.
Are you guys ready to go train with us? Let's go do it.
Then they experienced Nissan's award-winning lineup.
Stop for it. That's incredible.
It's Nissan's bottom line model year-end event. Save up to $3,500 on road, or get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 12 months.